March is soon coming to a close. With that comes the month of April. Today, we will be discussing sneakers to resell in the month of April. If you're not into reselling, that's okay as well. You could use this guide to know what are going to be the most hyped sneakers, the most limited, or even what popular general releases may potentially go on sale because, hey, we're all trying to save some money. Specifically, we'll be discussing the name of the sneaker, the retail, the release date, and whether the sneaker will be profitable or not, or if they may even hypothetically sit on shelves, resulting in a sale price. Feel free to subscribe and enable post notifications just so you stay 100% updated on all these profitable releases. Also, be sure to follow my Twitter for urgent updates such as the shock drop we saw today, Keith Adam 10, and also personals for you. Kicking it off on April 1st, we may potentially see a select few retailers drop the Dunk Low Free 99. The reason I say a select few and potentially is because it looks like they may actually be getting delayed. We're a week away right now, so I will keep you guys updated on this. These should be retailing for $110 and will be very profitable with a great margin. Full throttle for sure whenever they do release this month, if not the first. Also on the 1st, we may potentially be seeing the Foamposite 1 Orlando Magic drop for $230. These are primarily just a personal pair though, and you may even be able to get these for under retail in the secondary market. Bear with me, the month starts off semi-slow, but trust me, it gets really hot towards the middle. Moving on to April 2nd, the Cosmic Unity Space Hippie will drop for $150. Based off how low pre-sale already is following their delay at multiple retailers and how the majority of recent Space Hippies have been performing, I'd say these are mainly just a personal pair at best. If you have no tax, you might be able to make a couple of dollars off the very large sizes, but definitely nothing too notable on these. On April 3rd for $230, the Foamposite All-Star should be dropping after their initial delay. I actually believe that this might be the first Foamposite in a while to actually hold up. By that, I don't exactly mean a good margin, rather I would expect easy lunch money and perhaps a little more with a subpar margin, or a decent margin if you do have no tax in your state. They seem to have a pretty notable amount of demand right now, at least for Foamposites, but just keep in mind the retail is pretty high at $230 and that is going to cut into your margin. Moving on to April 6th, we have something more exciting. The SB Dunk Low Wasted Youth will finally be dropping for $110. Expect these to be extremely profitable with an incredible margin, full throttle without a doubt. Also on the 6th for $170, the Air Max 95 LeBron Lakers will be dropping following their initial delay, which was supposed to take place on the 30th of March. Sadly, pre-sale is definitely not holding up very well, and it's only going to get worse as we do approach the drop. For the most part, I'd say personal only for these. At best, you might be able to make a couple of dollars profit off the very large sizes like 12 and 13 and higher if you do have no tax in your state, but definitely not something notable. Then on April 8th for $180, the Jordan 35 Fear will be dropping. Although 35s are usually not the most hyped, these certainly seem to have a very notable amount of demand as of now. I'd expect at least lunch money on the larger sizes with a decent margin, perhaps even more than that. Bigger the better when it comes to these. But now, prior to moving on, I do have two exciting announcements for you guys who have been patiently waiting. First of all, starting in early to mid-April, a project that myself and my team have been working on since August is finally coming to life. My friends, this is Gargantua AIO. I don't want to spoil any details right now regarding these site lists or features, as I'm going to announce that in Endurance at the end of the month. What I can tell you is that this is an AIO bot for sneakers, Supreme, electronics, cards, collectibles, and more. It's a pretty solid site list. All Endurance members will eventually have access to this for free during the beta period, which will roll out little by little. Blood, sweat, and tears, and so much money has gone into this, you have no idea. This team is comprised of developers that I've never seen anything like before. We've been building a different breed of software behind closed doors for quite a while now. I promise I will keep you guys updated. For now, that's all I'll say until the time is right. Regarding the second announcement though, Endurance will finally be restocking on April 1st, Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 p.m. CEST in Europe, tweeted from Keith Adam 10 and Endurance's Twitter. Endurance is a group to help you fully exploit the secondary market, but what makes Endurance so different though? To start off, Endurance offers numerous softwares completely free for all members to help them exploit drops. All members have access to a location spoofer to help them exploit sneakers stashes, sneakers passes, frenzy drops, etc. All members have access to an autofill tool with auto checkout and an auto add to cart to destroy drops and restocks even if they don't have a bot. All members have access to a custom queue bot to help them efficiently pass waiting rooms on sites like Adidas, Finish Line, Mesh, Snipes, and even has a cookie feature for efficiently passing queue on Yeezy supply. There's also a Supreme add to cart bot to make manual checkouts extremely easy, which has now actually been implemented into the autofill. There's also a Dick's Sporting Goods bypass system, and for any botters, we also offer free software to help you guys out as well. For example, this could turn a one-click Gmail, profile converter, account gen, and much more, and even cheap in-house residential proxies available 24/7 for the most reliable providers. But that's not the end of it. We love innovation, and we're always developing new things to separate us from others. Then, of course, we have amazing relationships with a number of elite commercial bots for group buys that members actually want. My personal favorite, though, above all, Nike sneakers early info for shock drops, scratches, AR hunts, sneaker stashes on hyped releases, you name it. Not to mention, actually just today we saw a shock drop that all members had every single bit of early information for, including the exact time, what was releasing, etc. So again, the Endurance restock will be on April 1st. Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 p.m. CEST in Europe, tweeted from Keith Adam 10. Mark your calendars and set your alarms. Also, on the 8th, we will be seeing the Jordan 1 Center with the red stripe drop for $135. Similar to the prior pair, I'm not expecting anything great from these, primarily just a personal pair. Moving to April 10th for $190, this is when the month starts to pick up. The Jordan 5 Raging Bull will finally be making its return. This is one of the most sought after classic Jordan 5 retros of all time. This retro is definitely a big deal. 5s are definitely not always the best, and this will definitely have pretty high stock, but you should be able to still make at least easy small profit off these with a decent margin regardless. Nothing crazy, but these are some of the best drops because you could get multiple pairs easily and the profit really does add up. Not to mention, it's a nice personal pair too. Then potentially on the 14th, we have the Jordan 4 University Blue dropping for $225. I say potentially because I was told that they are going to be dropping on the 28th of April, but some Europe retailers may actually potentially drop on the 14th, hence I'm just mentioning these now, but keep these in mind for the 28th of April. Anyway, although retail is higher than usual at $225, the demand on this is so high that I'm confident that you should still be able to make easy small profit or potentially more with a decent margin. Just like the last shoe, this drop is great. It's a profitable GR release that you will likely be able to get multiple pairs of. This money definitely adds up. And more importantly, of course, we need a personal of these. These things are absolutely beautiful, man. Moving on to April 15th, we have the return of the Uptempo Rhythm for $160. These are definitely a sleeper pair. Demand from the 2018 pair was very high, and that should definitely partially transition to these. While Uptempo are not the most hyped in general, with it retail this low at $160 and this colorway specifically being very hyped since the last drop, I do think that you can make easy lunch money with a decent margin on these. Larger sizes will be best. Also on the 15th for $190, the Jordan 3 Rust Pink women's will be dropping. I don't exactly have the best expectations for these, but I do still think that you can make a little bit of lunch money with a subpar margin, primarily in sizes 10 and up, especially if you don't have tax in your state. So this one isn't exactly the greatest drop, but you should be able to make a little bit of lunch money off these, just not with the best margin. Then on the 16th, we have the Dunk Low Michigan dropping for $100. Expect these to be very profitable with a great margin, full throttle for sure. Although these have a better margin than some of the other pairs we were discussing, honestly, like I was saying, I prefer the GR Jordan drops. They're much easier to get multiple pairs of. I make way more money off those compared to these Dunk drops, but like I was saying, the middle of the month is absolutely stacked. We got a good blend of these very limited drops as well as some nice GR drops to make good profit off of. Then potentially closer to the 16th for $100, we may see the Team Green Dunk Low drop. I say potentially again because I was told that they are going to be dropping on the 21st, but Finish Line does have them set for the 16th for some reason. I'll keep you guys updated on this. Either way, they are supposed to be dropping in April, and you could definitely expect them to be very profitable with a great margin, full throttle for sure. Also on the 16th, the Adidas ZX 8000 Sean Witherspoon Super Earth will be dropping after their initial delay. Demand actually looks pretty decent on these right now, and retail is only $160. Therefore, I'd expect at least small profit to lunch money on these with a decent margin, so nothing crazy, but an opportunity for easy money regardless. Then on to one of the most anticipated drops of April 17th to be exact, for $170, we will be getting getting the Jordan 1 Hyper Royal. Without a doubt, you can expect these to be very profitable with a great margin. Demand is already insane for these. Full throttle, of course. Now you can see how crazy April really is. These are my favorite kind of drops. And of course, we need that personal pair as well. Let me know what you guys think about these. Now, jumping to April 23rd, and keep in mind that many of these releases will pop up throughout the month too, and there are going to be many more, so be sure you subscribe and enable post notifications just so you're always 100% updated on all those that do pop up. But anyway, the Dunk Low Lemon Drop will be releasing for $100. Expect these to be very profitable with a great margin, full throttle of course. Then on the 27th for $180, we may possibly be seeing the Sacai Vapor Waffle Dark Iris drop. Expect these to be very profitable with a great margin as well, just like all prior Sacai Vapor Waffles, full throttle of course. Then on April 30th for $120 each, following the Europe drop which took place in March, the Go FlyEase will finally be dropping in US in the 3 colorways. These are definitely a really cool concept and they're actually quite limited too. Expect these to remain profitable with a good margin in all of the colorways. Moving on to some drops that are set for April with no exact dates yet. The Dunk Caledon will drop for $100. Expect these to be very profitable with a great margin as well. Then we should also see the Yeezy 500 High Frost Blue drop for $220. Sadly, 500 hype has not really been there, so I'd suggest these for personal only, not for resale purposes. And finally for April, at least for today, the Yeezy 500 Enflame is set to drop sometime in April for $200. Although these are certainly not the best looking, 500 lows in general still tend to usually perform quite well. Therefore, I'd expect at least lunch money on these, and even more than lunch money on sizes under 8 specifically. So it's definitely not the best 500 low, but 500 lows in general definitely do tend to perform quite well. Unless these are crazy limited, it's not going to be the best one, but regardless, it's an easy money opportunity nonetheless. Anyway, that will conclude it for today. Remember that the limited endurance restock will take place on April 1st, Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 p.m. CEST in Europe. Tweeted from KeithAdam10. Like if you enjoyed or perhaps learned a thing or two. Also subscribe and enable post notifications if you happen to be new, and follow my Twitter, KeithAdam10, and personals for you for urgent updates. With that though, enjoy the rest of your day and good luck on these releases.